The ITM Cup makes its first stop in Invercargill for 2012, and what an occasion it will be tonight too, the 125th anniversary of the great Southern Derby. Southland up against Otago, a match first played in 1887. On that day, it was Otago's day, taking the game 6-0, but they haven't beaten Southland in competition since 2008. So Otago, no, they have a real chance against the Southland side that has been decimated through injury and is coming off the back of two pretty hefty defeats as well. So they've got something to do for their fans tonight. The Stags down on the sideline, Brendan Laney.
Yeah, evening everyone. We've got an interesting night weather-wise. This ground's a great nick though, always is. But we've got a very strong wind as we're looking at this pitch, sort of heading down to the right-hand side towards the scoreboard. Hope it doesn't affect the game too much. I always love these Otago Southland battles. Really looking forward to it.
Well, like Brendan Laney, my co-commentator tonight, Calvin Middleton's played a few of these derbies as well. Calvin, good evening to you as the Satanic Verses get through their work up on the grass bank. But this is a great game.
Oh, look, as you say, Sumo, they don't come any more traditional. 125 years, played against each other 232 odd times. Played in a few, they're never easy, and I expect tonight will be very similar.
The Otago boys, who had a victory over Northland first up at their home track at Forsyth Bar, then losing to Bay of Plenty last week. Calvin and I at that game, and they were just outclassed by the Bay of Plenty side. This man spent 10 minutes in the bin tonight. He'll be looking for another blockbusting performance out of Wellington originally, TJ Ioane, but came to Otago to further his rugby career. Was told by a few of the heavyweights in Wellington rugby he was never going to be big enough, certainly big enough for this side. And his combination tonight with Allen and Grant, the skipper, who's been in good touch so far this season, will be important to Otago's chances in the match. Liam Coltman returns to the starting hooking role, and the veteran Tama Tuirirangi there on the tight head side. The back line is young, but there's a mixture of experience in there too, in terms of likes of Glenn Dixon and Buxton Popuali, who's on the left wing tonight. Tony Ensor back, Ben Smith, Tamati Ellison, both hooked up with the All Blacks, of course, for the test match this week. And Tanaka there at half-back. Hayden Parker kicking 88%. Goal kicking tonight could be important. These games tend to be low-scoring affairs. 3 points always crucial. And Marshall Suckling, number 14, making his ITM Cup debut tonight. There is the bench. Shota Horie, the Japanese hooker there. Suoli, and 17, the reserve prop. And remember last week, Kel, they ran out of props in the game and went to Golden Oldie scrums. Yeah,
they'll be looking to make amends for that. They got well and thoroughly beaten up front, so make no mistake, the forwards tonight, they've got to set the platform, and they're up against a very strong team in the forwards here with Southland.
The Southland side really need to put a performance on the park today to get their season kick-started. They've scored just 17 points in their 2 games. They've conceded 70. So it's been fairly one-sided. Robbie Robinson leads the side out. And what a season the kid has had as well, linking up with the Chiefs this year, winning the Super Rugby title, and he brings up 50 appearances for the Stags on his home track in the Southern Derby. And he's having a great season too. Jamie McIntosh brings the rest of the crew out tonight. And in the forwards, the big story, I guess, is the story of Scott McKee, who was instrumental in getting one of the clubs around here, Northern Eastern Barbarians, up and running in the competition. And now he gets a start for the Stags. His grandfather played for Southland, and he's pretty pumped up about his opportunity tonight. Great to see a real battler, a loyal man, get a go for the Stags, and he's keen to put on a show. Yeah,
good to see him. I think he's walked off the lambing beat, so he'll be keeping an eye on this weather. You can guarantee that.
In the back line, we do look to Robbie Robinson once more. His form tonight could be crucial. Goal kicking might be in his hands this evening. No Scotty tonight. Marty McKenzie kicking just 33%. Maybe Robinson will get the tee, but certainly his direction in the 10 jersey will be a key factor if Southland want to get their first win of the season. Cornforth, Vaianga, Hauhaya there in the midfield as well. So some good nous in the midfield. And there is Southland's bench. Jason Rutledge, a big night for him. He wins his body weight in oysters tonight, the most capped Stag of all time. And we're looking forward to see him take the track. Always gets a good reception. Bryce Lawrence, the referee this evening. Otago will be kicking off, playing from right to left as you watch. And the derby is alive and well here at Rugby Park as Southland have first use of the ball through Josh Beckwith, and the forwards get over him. Jimmy Cowan just pops it up. Fadia Laufer on the charge. And the 2 locks doing the carrying early. Now some depth on the play for Robbie Robinson, who kicks.
Back you go, half step.
And offside, first up, Bryce Lawrence with the infringement.
Not the way Otago would have wanted to start. They had them pushed down deep in the corner there, but 2 good runs. Getting out of there and just bringing in that offside play. You can see them out there. Lee Allen just creeping up a wee bit too quick. Debut, as you say, Sumo. He'll be looking for a big game, ex-Kaikorai boy. So look to see the man. They got beaten up, those loose forwards last week, by a very good Bay of Plenty outfit. So they'll be making amends tonight.
It would have been working too. Overtime, I would have suggested on getting to ground with ball in hand. We saw a phase of play up at Rotorua last week where 4 times in a row the player was held up. More ball and turnover ball. Here's Paul Grant, the skipper, charging up. Tanaka gets it away to TJ Ioane, and another strong carry to start the game for him. Has support on his shoulder too from Tom Franklin. Dixon. And Bryce Lawrence sees another penalty. Diving in. So Otago start the match with back-to-back infringements. Southland this time may be able to find touch.
Yeah, good play from both sides there. Otago wanting to get in front, but as you say, they've got guys in behind them. That was the difference last week. Too many guys going up, heading up, going on their own tour and getting well and truly caught up. Good defence from Southland, and a wee error there from Otago, just flopping it off their feet and sealing off that ball. Can't do that.
Brendan Laney's sideline conditions here really in Southland's favour, considering Otago has that wonderful facility where wind's never a factor, at least.
Yeah, you did right, and at least the Southland team will know all the ins and outs of this field we're seeing here. Bryce Lawrence, he's not going to muck around. He's a very good ref. He certainly knows his rules, and he's going to make sure that both teams are going to be doing as they're told.
2.5 gone at Rugby Park. 3 penalties so far, 2 for Southland, 1 for Otago. Parker will have a chance to clear downfield. The wind favouring this Otago side.
7.
As we look at the bench, concern looks early for Southland. Or maybe they're just cold.
Calling here for short line out. Be looking in the warm-up, they seem to be hitting a lot in the midfield and then spinning it wide. So we'll see if they repeat their tactics.
Cobman with the throw, Allen with the grab, and Tanaka out of Parker. TJ Ioane comes up with the spill. Bryce Lawrence won't muck around and will head to the scrum.
Yeah, sloppy start. Just TJ probably trying to make amends. He unfortunately was in the naughty seat last week, 10 minutes. Wanting to get his hands on the ball early, but just taking his eyes off. It was good ball from the line out, running nice and flat, but just looking up. A lot of defence here from Southland. Big ball.
Patience.
TJ Ioane, of course, who was a member of that 2007 New Zealand school side alongside Robbie Robinson. Tawara Kurbalo, also a member of that school. Wellington College boy, TJ. And he spends his time off the park in Dunedin these days. The school kids at Carisbrook, coordinating programs there.
Well, we see here Robinson is right behind the scrum here. We're not too sure which way he's going to go, but I would not be surprised if there's a big deep kick here down to this left-hand corner towards the scoreboard.
Well, they get the penalty again. Here goes Jimmy Cowan. They can't hold on. Bryce Lawrence says straight down, so carry on. It was Alex Taylor who came up with the spill, picked up, carried on by Tuapati. 10-metre line inside Otago's half, and another penalty, and Bryce Lawrence is going to have a call here.
We need to get this sorted out real quick, okay? Just offside, was it? We've had 3 or 4 penalties around offsides. Okay, we've had a collapsed scrum. You've got to sort it out, or else I'm just not going to keep penalising and asking all the time, okay? Offside.
You've been told.
Shot.
There you go. He's not very happy, is he? We are hoping, lining up for a shot here. Otago contesting that breakdown just a wee bit too much here, and Bryce is starting to get a wee bit growly. I think slopping in over the ball, that was fine. It's this next guy, coming in here. Franklin just getting a wee bit offside, not behind the hind foot. So it's going to be a tough kick here.
Yeah, well, Mackenzie, he didn't have a great day with the boot in Wellington. Obviously a bit more wind here today, although it was swirling up there. It'll just be a case of keeping the head down, following through like he was in warm-up.
Mackenzie with his first attempt of the night. The crowd stays silent, and that's why it's away. So the scoreline locked at 0-0. I can understand Bryce Lawrence's frustration. We have young referees in ITM Cup, and we've seen a few games where controlling the match has been an issue. And experienced referees like Bryce Lawrence don't want to blow penalties, they want a clean game. And when you're in a cutthroat competition, quick turnarounds, you don't have a lot of time for technical coaching.
That's right, yeah, good to get it out there early. Be very careful, both teams. You've been warned.
Robinson pumps up the Gary Owen into the swirling breeze at Rugby Park, and that's well taken at the back. And now the Stags forwards go straight over the top, dominant at the breakdown, and they get the scrum feed.
Well, isn't that off a kick?
And Beckus now having a crack. We always knew this game would be touchy. It always is. Oh, and he's got one from behind too.
Well, look, a lot of these guys were flatmates during the Highlanders. Maybe someone was nicking someone's cereal, I think. There seems to be a few angry people out there. But look, again, Southland at the warm-up, they were doing a huge amount on defence. They've been leaking in tries left, right and centre, 9 in the last 2 games. So they're looking to make their mark.
Well, I think the point you made, Brendan Laney, quite correct. He did take that in from a kick. Otago probably feeling a little robbed there.
Touch. Set.
Cowan has it at the base, and now looking to free this back line up. And Carter firing us straight through a hole, frees the ball. Marty McKenzie, what a ball inside to Pocky!
Well, this one might go up top, lads. He landed just short. Could be a very interesting call.
Okay, Porky, going to be interesting to see if he gets that ball down. I think Lee Allen might have been all over him like a rash there in that corner. But great inside ball, Marty McKenzie. Otago just slipping off a few tackles in that midfield, creating that gap.
Short of the line there. And his ball's up off the ground. Allen could have come up with a major play here. He hasn't got the ball down on that play, and the ball stays up here. TMO may well say no try first up for the Stags.
That's a brilliant tackle. Lee Allen playing his first game. What a great way to start. But Southland looking dangerous with that ball in hand. Here we go, having another look. Got the arm wrapped around the mush. And just rolls him around perfectly on his back. Holds him up, big bear hug.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to give, isn't it? Unfortunately for Pocky, just didn't quite get it down in time. I think we'll see this is held up.
Well, it was enterprising play and a great bust too from Carter Fainga. And how about the inside ball from Marty McKenzie?
Beautiful bust, wasn't it? And McKenzie pulled it in. Lovely wee pass in behind. Probably deserved the try, guys.
Never thought I'd hear that from an Otago man on the side pole, but it's the first time for everything.
It hurt to say.
Have you been warned, Buffer? Have you been warned?
It hurt to say.
Brendan Laney's surrounded by Stags faithful down there. Here's Cade Porky now, denied just moments ago. Under the sticks to Stags, and another advantage applying here. Pick and drive play. Southland going back to what they do best. Otago will be called upon to... Oh, there you go.
Foul play. You know when you've done it. You had the advantage as well. Where you go?
Jamie McIntosh. Jimmy Cowan hasn't seen which direction Bryce Lawrence's arm is pointed. Well, I can safely tell you it's the other way, Jimbo.
Yeah, I think big Jamie McIntosh must have been getting in there and unfortunately getting on the wrong side and was picked out. Absolutely bit of a shame for Southland because they had the penalty advantage right out in front of the sticks.
Well,
they've been turned around.
To be fair, Kelvin, I think he actually got him for punching. Coltman was on the deck. I know we're going to get a replay here. We'll watch the big fellas go in. Whopper. There's one. There's two. He's probably going to go for a third one, but we're not going to see it.
Is that illegal?
Well, not down in Southland, obviously, but Bryce didn't like it.
You're not getting anything past that beard when it comes to punching. Taken down by Paul Grant. He has been impressive. Start this season. Look at the strength of the bloke.
He's a personal trainer, so he spends a lot of time in there, and it's certainly paying dividends.
Tanaka now with a nifty dab downfield from the box. Well collected by Cornforth. And Tuapati takes play back to the halfway line. Short ball this time for McIntosh, who pulls off the world's worst pirouette. Now the cut. McKenzie again, quick hands, almost the intercept play. Tony Ensor saw it coming. It was 1-2 on 1.
Oh, they're looking threatening when they move that ball out wide. Otago just opening up a few spaces. Good lesson there, Tony Ensor. Got to play to the whistle. I think if he had peeled off and scored under the post, you never know what had happened, but well picked up on the sideline. Opening up that ball, 2 on 1. Very lucky, just getting in the road.
Well, this Southland side's started completely different to what they did last week. This is a different Southland outfit tonight, especially against this Otago team who are really struggling to get into this game. Southland seem to have settled a lot quicker.
In the gap.
Well, without putting too fine a point on it, Southland's season on the line tonight. The win here is absolutely crucial, and they've had it over Otago for the last few years.
Well, this part here, Kel, has been quite interesting. The last two scrums we've had have been quite messy. Bryce getting plenty of advice from both sets of front rows. I'm sure that's gone in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of movement in those front rows. I think you have to be very careful with their binding. It's certainly pretty free and east. Lots of boring in, but it's more darker in there than 50 Shades of Grey, the book, isn't it?
Here's Blocky off the wing. You read that, Bone?
Indeed. You got to branch out, don't you?
Ryan McDonald with a good card. Now Scott McKee on debut. Fatia Lofa takes 3 Razorbacks to pull him to deck. And short side play from Cowan to McIntosh. The old firm. Tuapati. They out quickly on him. Coltman diving low. Fatia Lofa can't pick up, and the knock-on comes. So Otago defending. Almost 12 gone here. 0 the scoreline in the derby.
Well, I think Southland have been watching Otago's previous game against Bay of Plenty where they got well and truly rumbled, and we can see what Southland are doing here. They are taking them on up front. Bit of tit for tat at the moment. Just a sloppy little, just a wee bit two guys in there trying to get their hands on the pill. Fortunately turning it over, but they're playing in the right part of the field for the Southland team. As you say, Buffer, Otago haven't had much ball to run around with and play with.
Well, Bryce is on fire tonight. He's given the medic a tune-up as well, guys. I'll call you on. Off you get. Passed him his bag and told him to beat it.
Blue 1, hit and hold.
There are the verses. It's a great rugby club, the Satanic Verses. I don't think it actually has a club room because no one would let them in it. But they're all the Southland High School old boys. And they get together and, well, I don't think they're doing science competitions anyway. It all revolves around a very famous southern brewery. As the ball is cleared downfield. They like to think of themselves as the Stags Feeder Club, Satanic Verses.
I think the only thing they feed is feed on plenty of chips and pies by the look of them.
Oh, God bless them.
Ball counted up midfield.
No clear release.
And another penalty here.
Tackle assist.
That's our penalty count in the match. We're climbing high already.
Yeah. Otago's giving away 5. Southland only 2, but I think what the players need to learn, we heard a loud call there from Bryce. He said, look, hands off, hands off. TJ just could not help himself. So guys have got to learn. Paul Grant's getting told again, give them a friendly reminder. Long range shot here.
Yeah, it's, I must admit, it hasn't been really reffed that well this year, and that's no disrespect to the refs at all, but it's a tough ruling. Your first instinct is the ball, especially you being a loose forward, Calv. You know what it's like. You just want to get your hands on the nut. It's very hard to take your hands off and have another crack at it, but that's the law, and they've got to learn to get right.
Yeah, it can prove costly.
Martin McKenzie. Some trouble lining up here in this really gusty breeze.
Yeah, he's sort of pushed the last one out to the right, guys, so I think he's just adjusted his aim a wee bit. He hit it pretty sweet. See where it goes.
McKenzie, second attempt at the night, he's willing it over, and it won't come for him. And so we remain 0-0 here at Rugby Park.
Well, these are points he's got to take. This could be a very close match at the end of it, and there's 6 points that really have gone away for them.
Yeah, there's been a lot on the paper recently about Marty McKenzie, that the Blues are interested in him, so maybe he's just trying to make sure he stays down here at Southland Highlander region at the moment.
Not going to get a pay rise doing that if he's going to miss goals.
Well, this kid hasn't missed many. He's kicking at 88%, Hayden Parker. Well taken down, but then lack of control in contact. So Otago sweep onto this one. Haven't had a lot of possession to start this game. Now Parker goes high. Well taken by McKenzie, and slipped the first tackle too. Robinson, his 50th match for the Stags today. Hands on the ball there for Otago. Thought they almost had a turnover. Count. Looking to punch some holes in this Otago defence, and the pass just slipped out of their hands. Did well to retain possession there, Southland. Now a chance to go again, and a big solid shot coming in on Barrett.
Right off his feet.
And the penalty this time against Southland, so Otago, through the boot of Hayden Parker, may well have a chance at 3 to start the game.
Well, it's really the only time they've been down this end of the track, isn't it, guys? And we're seeing another penalty for a player leaving his feet. You must stay on your feet. Unfortunately, Alex Taylor just didn't quite get his timing right and tried to seal the ball off. You might see here in the replay.
Interesting thing here, if you just keep an eye on Otago, okay, a lot of Southland players on their feet, not many Otago in that ruck whatsoever. We'll have another look at this next one here. You see Southland going down, Otago pulling out, makes it incredibly hard for Southland to get out of there. There's so many guys of Otago there standing up. You got Southland who got numbers in, makes it very difficult to get out of there.
Parker's first shot, and he's good. So Otago, somewhat against the run of play, take the lead in the derby. It's 3-0, 17 and a half gone.
It's pretty much the first opportunity of points, first time they've been anywhere near the 22. So well done, Otago. But Southland, they've had all the play. Just got to keep on trying.
And he's like a wee metronome, isn't he? Just hits the ball so sweet, and it is a tough day or tough night for kicking this breeze here, as we've seen McKenzie's first kicks.
Robinson's restart holds up in the breeze, and Otago finally get it under control. Tanaka TJ Ioane this time manages to grab the ball with his fingertips. And they manage to clear out too. Parker again looking to play Southland's end of the field. McKenzie carried that back inside, so decided to run instead. Makes 10 metres before he's chopped. And he gives away the penalty, so good defence and good kick chase from Otago.
Otago can't ask for much more than that. Taking the kick off, well done. And just looking to hit in midfield, and again, just letting the ball do the work. And seeing here, big pressure on there. Jaden Spence just coming back into midfield. He's been on the wing. Good to see him back in at midfield. He is a true midfielder. And just turning that turnover there. But what's been an interesting stat is that Otago this year have gained 14 penalties in the opposition half. And out of those, they've kicked over 12 goals. So only 14 penalties, only 2 miss. Every penalty that they're getting in the opposition half, they're banging over pretty much.
Yeah, and a lot has got to do with this boy here. Got a lovely action, nice and relaxed. And hits the ball so crisp.
Crowd chanting he won't get it, rather optimistically. But they've managed to put the jinx on Parker this time. So 3-0 is your scoreline.
I want you to check that shot of goal, please.
We have Rutledge fans in the stands.
He's going to check that, Lashy.
He's going to check this one, fellas. He's not 100% sure that did miss.
Jamie!
It had a fair bit of height in it, so from this angle it looked like it went right over that right-hand post.
I don't know, Sumo, this will be the first time I've seen this happen. Going to the TMO for this.
That's why you come to Invercargill, mate. It's a city of firsts.
Absolutely.
Entirely sure that's going to show anything different.
Yeah, it doesn't fall.
You normally can tell by the reaction of the kicker himself. If he stands and looks at it for a while, it's usually going to be pretty close, but he sort of turned pretty quickly.
Yes. Come on.
Well, there you go. TMO rules in favour of the assistant referees on this occasion. Penalty shot does not count. This counts though from Ensor as he finds a way through the first line of defence. Tanaka away to TJ Ioane. Ioane was looking for the offload. Tanaka keen to stay short side. He does just that. Coltman into the tackle of Vaenga. Now the change of direction. Good ball too from Parker away to Dixon. And Ensor has support inside from Tom Franklin into the 22. And they've done that with ease too, Otago. They come back for more. Jaden Spence playing in midfield tonight. Ioane. Another solid run from TJ Ioane, and the ball is clean for Tanaka. Parker, not much of him, and he slipped through the tackle. Good fluency here from the Otago side as they work their way ever closer to the Southland line. Coltman dishes the ball up this time to Verbakel. Allen came up with that try-saving tackle early in the match. Ball is there again. Southland up quickly. And a high tackle is the call this time, so another gift opportunity here for Hayden Parker.
Great set of phase from Otago, just possessing that ball and just turning it over and just keeping on going with it, weren't they? Just fantastic. But good to see the Otago team actually put the ball through the hands. I think everyone got a feel of the ball on that one. Just a wee bit high there. Might went to a party on Barkle, was it there?
Okay.
But they've done very well there, Otago.
Just slightly high. Unfortunately, Tuapati didn't really need to get that one away, but Southland just not quite getting off the ground and getting themselves in a position. You've got to admire the way Otago, they've come back into this game a bit. Southland start Absolutely brilliant. They'll be wrapped with their start. They've really just got to get their hands on the ball again from the Southland point of view.
Territory was up around 75% in favour of Southland, but slowly starting to creep back to near on 40% for Otago. But what they're doing, they're punishing them when they get down there.
3 more from the kid, so 6-0 the scoreline. Otago lead this one, already a quarter of the match gone. Bryce Lawrence has plenty to say out there to both sides.
Bit of moisture starting to fall down their buffer, is it?
Yeah, there is a wee bit. Might make the ball a wee bit slippery. As we see this kick here from Robinson. Not a great one. This wind is just a wee bit tricky, guys. 1 minute it's sort of gusty, the next minute dies down. And unfortunately for Robbie, every time he seems to be kicking, there's a bit of wind around.
So the error from Robbie Robinson will have a scrum on the halfway line. Otago will have the feed. Point about building scoreboard pressure is so important in these hard-fought, gritty games, isn't it, Kel?
Yeah, it all comes down to getting those points that are on offer, and you know, there's no doubt the Otago points have been a wee bit easier to kick over. It's a tough kick there for Marty going into that corner, but yeah, they've taken their points, and it does hurt.
Stay off the elbow!
Scrum feed in, and the penalty goes against Tama Tuiridangi. He claims he's been pulled down by McIntosh, but Bryce Lawrence is having none of that. So a relieving penalty this for the Stags.
Otago will be disappointed with that. Tama just not getting his arm up, binding correctly. Fortunately, Bryce was on that side. You can get away with it when he's on the other side normally.
You are grabbing there, and you're
Here
in
it
on
is.
his elbow. So if you could tidy that up, that would be great.
So it's a bind issue for Tama Tuiridangi. He has to bind on the back of the opposing prop, not the arm.
Now stay in, okay?
Oh, he's
Trying
saying
to look like
that.
a monkey there.
He's saying it's his elbow, but that's a funny place for an elbow when his hand's up on his shoulder. Bryce might have to do a bit of anatomy work there.
Scrappy line out this. TJ Ioane will have it, but the first infringement against Otago. So we'll scrum down again, and Tuiridangi and McIntosh can carry on the battle.
Yeah, I think Jamie McIntosh, captain of the Highlanders, he's got a lot to do in their front row. So, you know, he's got a big say in the way things go, and he won't be wanting to take a step back. He'll be wanting to lead the way. He's got a lot of pride, a lot of mana, and I'm sure this battle won't die down.
Well, the rain is steadily getting heavier, guys, which is going to make it very tough ball handling wise. We see this Southland backline very, very wide. It's poking right out on the 5 metre line.
Here's the ball, and it's clean too for Robinson. Now Vaenga. Cornforth comes back. 22 metre line, you can see on your screen. And Fadialofa crosses it. Picked up by the skipper. And Wappa comes off 3 or 4. Fadialofa again. Looked solid last week in a losing effort in Wellington. Picked up, driven on. This is better stuff from the Stags. McIntosh once more. Less than 10 away from the line. Robbie Robinson gets dumped on his head by Verbakel. And now the arm is out from Bryce Lawrence. The crossfield kick, and that goes into touch.
Well, I think Verbakel might be in a bit of trouble here, lads.
Let's hope this is nothing serious.
Mike, you got anything?
Versus unhappy.
Yep, they know where they want him to go. Well, it just shows you guys, as soon as you tip a guy and his feet are up above his shoulders, you're in a lot of trouble. Fortunately for Robinson, he's a tough wee guy. They won't want to losing a guy in that position, but here we go here.
Yeah, just good on up ending there. Look, and Verbakel's defence, he only started playing rugby when he left school. So he played a lot of basketball before then.
Yeah, well, that there is not smart, not in front of your post like that.
Well, the injury actually came in the next movement for Robinson. But I guess in mitigation. Vibaka didn't drive the player into the ground. Had he done that, well, the first option's a red card, basically.
There's a perfect spot for Southland here. He's got a wee bit of strike power out wide. Corky's already had a bit of a nabble down the sideline. We'll see if he gets the ball in his hands again. Great scrum. Just got to get it set solid.
Patience, please. Crouch.
Scott McKee, chance to be a hero here, straight off the bat. In your debut, under the posts.
That's the one, Sumo. Just ignore any move and just have a go, McGee.
Come here. Come forward.
Obviously, you've done that a bit yourself, Kelvin, when you popped into the boot.
Listen.
Well, that was if I could pick the ball up.
No wonder we didn't get many tries out there, Sumo, for the Otago team while he was playing, mate.
Come over here. No,
There is Vibaka, who's in the box.
No, I mean, you know.
Well, they've got two attacking players, McKenzie and Pocky, both wide. You know, these boys can run good lines. Let's see how the scrum goes, and they can get a good solid base.
No number 8 in the scrum for Otago. And the weight comes on for the Stags. The ball's loose, but still there. Here's McKee, picks up, passes, Cowan! And can Cowan get the ball down? That is the question.
Wow.
He looks pretty happy. Well done, McKee. Did everything right.
Chicken try or no try, it'll be on the first grounding, please.
Well, Jimmy is either a really good salesman or he knows for sure.
I was going to say, if that's Jimmy Cowan looking happy, I'd hate to see him looking angry.
This will be the one, won't it? This first grounding here.
You'd think by all means of money that he'd get that down, but
Let's have a look at this angle. There's the ball. Just tried to plant it on TJ Ioane's afro, and now on someone's face.
Like I said, Sumo, I think he's been a good salesman. He's really got to have got it down here, doesn't he? That first lunge at the line.
I think he scored that on Franklin's nose.
Did. Tommy Franklin's, he's just tried to push it into his face.
Take that.
This is the first movement. There's the end of the ball just under Franklin's rear end.
Oh, that really is a tough one to get. TJ Ioane under there as well. Might have landed on his throw.
Yes.
That is great
No
camera
try.
work.
No grounding.
We'll have some of that, Otago fans. 2 try-saving tackles, the first by Allen, the second by Ioane and Franklin.
Interesting here because Otago, they got punished last week against Bar Plenty with only 14 men. Very lucky to escape there. Last week they conceded 14 points in that 10 minutes. Fortunately, Jimmy, they're a wee bit disappointed that that nose was in the road.
Well, they've got another opportunity here, guys. Hockey's just come behind the scrum, off his right wing. And we've got the 12 and 13 pretty much line up right behind each other.
Walker now flicks back across to the right, Cowan. Again, Ioane comes up with the tackle. The forwards will want this. Just one short of the line, it pops out. Taylor pops it up. Tuapati has the ball in hand. Now they get closer to the line. Bryce Lawrence is there. And is it a penalty or try?
I think we got a penalty.
He moved 3 times.
Had a double movement, might have been a triple by the sound of it. Triple. Well, Otago, take a big breath. Take your time with this kick out because you are under all sorts of pressure down there in that corner.
Oh, they really dodged some bullets, haven't they, guys?
Confidence boosting plays from this Otago defensive setup. Ioane in the thick of it. Tuapati is up here. The next play from Beckuis, and he gets caught short. And then he moves, and then he moves again. Wow.
He could have been in the wriggles.
Well, this rain is really hosing down now. It's going to make it very, very tough.
Southland, they put a huge amount of pressure on the opposition lineouts. Last year they were top dogs at disrupting other teams' lineouts. And again, doing the same thing there, getting in the road. Very good, Beckwith, Fadialofa in there, just making a nuisance of themselves and making life tough.
Time in 22, courtesy of Ruck and Good Stats. 2.5 minutes for the Stags for no points. 46 seconds for Otago for 6. Making their territory count, the Razorbacks. They're a man down 2 here, Otago. If they get away with a clean sheet while Verbakel's in the bin, they'll be pumped up.
Yeah, a lot of work going on in there in that scrum. Jamie McIntosh just reaching down, plucking a bit of good Southland dirt out of his tags there.
There's a good bit of Southland rain there too, guys, just to top it off. Well, if Whopper can put his arm down there and Bryce Lawrence is on that side, I can't see that. You've got to feel a wee bit for Turangi when he got pinged.
Stay 1 metre, 1 metre.
Here's the ball now for Cowan, and it's Porky at first receiver. Robinson. Wide ball from Robinson away to McKenzie. Cornforth can run. The ball is there at the back. Picked up. Forwards there in good numbers for Southland. And now turned over. Dixon comes away with the pill. Knock on from the Stags, just 5 metres out from the Otago line. Tanaka faked everyone.
Stay there.
Deep in goal is Ensor. And he puts in a good touch finder.
McKenzie, that was brilliant, drawing in 2 defenders and getting that ball away wide. See him here, just takes 2, unloading that ball. Good work.
A lovely pass by Robinson. You see Fadialofa on the short ball. Unfortunately got the ball and the man at the same time.
Robinson takes evasive action. And now they cut back with Fadialofa. Straight over the top went Tuatidangi, and he's won the penalty for Otago. This defence is extraordinary.
That is picture perfect, Tama. Well done for nicking that ball there. He's been around a long time. It's Hurricane. A big set of shoulders on the man too, aren't they?
Yeah, beautiful technique, wasn't it,
beautiful tackle. Yeah, good tackle. Got him down nice and early and all over that. Well done.
So the kick is made into touch, and Southland now know that there's very little time left in this first spell to get some reward for their territorial dominance. 75% of territory, 67% of possession, 0 on the board. Taken in by Franklin, enjoying a start tonight for Otago. Tanaka. Big chase coming in on the Tanaka kick. Marshall Suckling, his first full ITM Cup game. Southland have it through Cowan. Spilled out the side. McIntosh was there to jump on it. And then they lose it on the 5-second rule.
Yeah, it's been the first time, I think, since I've watched Otago, these previous games, I've use it or lose it rule with the 5 seconds sitting there at the back of that ruck has not been utilised. And I think it was because Jimmy Cowan was tied up. Might be Marty McKenzie or was it Robbie Robinson out in the back there. Didn't quite know what to do, who to shuffle it along with. So Southland going to have to watch this. Otago, every time they've been down here, they've been very threatening and they've taken points.
Touch!
Fumiaki Tanaka. What a great year for him. He came to the ground earlier this evening, snapped off a few photos. He's having the biggest tour of his life.
Well, let's be honest, the Japanese and the camera, they're almost hand in hand, aren't they?
Crouch! Touch! Set! Too much movement.
Well, Simo, you mentioned it before, this Southland team has really played most of the rugby. I really like the way they've stretched this Otago team. They've put a lot of pressure on them when they have done that. I'll probably be a wee bit disappointed when they do go into half-time, even though it is only 6-0, that they probably haven't broken them a bit more.
I guess they've just come up with those crucial turnovers, given away penalties, just one play too many around the fringe where the players got isolated. Good, right. They love to throw the ball around, Southland. It's a bit of a myth, I think, that they're just all forwards and nothing else.
Yeah, no, they've got some talented players in the back line. Yeah, majority of the Southland team have been feeding into the Highlanders, so they've certainly been on their up. But as you said at the start of the game, Sumo, this is a key game for these guys. First home game. They were strong at home last year. Who can not forget, you know, the Ramfully Shield games that they did? It was when they travelled. That was what bit them. So all important this one.
Tanaka again gets pushed out of the way by Cowan, and then that's a dusty old ball out to Parker. Getting through and affecting the turnover. Then Tanaka goes back for more. And wins a scrum, a penalty advantage, should I say.
Use it!
Paul Grant, the skipper, bounces out of the first.
Red hand.
There's Tanaka, runs to the spot, and looks around and realises he's the only one who wants to do anything.
He's like a wee fox terrier. Played a bit in Auckland as he was a youngster, and obviously spent a lot of time in Panasonic over in Japan. Seeing here, ball getting just got caught on a foot there. Southland did well, forcing the turnover there. Big dirty hand got in the road. Hawani McDonald, Tanaka just getting in there again, and Southland flopping over that right in front of the ref. And every time yet again, Sumo, 30-40 out from the line. Not Southland, Otago haven't been down there often, but they are taking the points away so far.
Miaki Tanaka, who played alongside Tony Brown at Sanyo, now Panasonic.
Soon to have a SBW out a bit wider, so we know their game plan. Straight off the top of SBW, wouldn't you?
Every single time. Here's Parker. And he likes the look of this one, does Hayden Parker, and why wouldn't you? 9-0 Otago over Southland, 2 remain in the first half.
He's gold, this boy. He took a big thump just when they were on defence, and he was very slow in getting up, so Otago breathed a sigh of relief. He's back out there running around. Good boy from Kaitangata from down south. Breed him tough down there.
Whopper's missing a boot. Bryce Lawrence has zero sympathy for that. Wants play to continue. Robbins, this time the deep restart. Parker clears away downfield. Prodigious boot on the kid.
Well, you must just look at that. Oh, it's just a pleasure, isn't it, seeing a boy kick a ball that strong.
Brendan Laney's disappeared. He's been swallowed up by the Rugby Park terrace.
Come on.
Sure he'll resurface eventually. Don't. Tuapati. Is that him in the Stag uniform? He's taken down now. Here's Cowan trying to spark something. Late in the half. Fadialofa, who's looked good with ball in hand. And picked up by Eid. Vacuous. Otago feisty in defence. Cowan again and Tuapati, and he has McIntosh on his 6, and Otago trying to wrap the player up. They can't do so, so better work this from the home side. Robinson with a kick through. Vaenga picks up, gets the ball away. That's the play they were looking for, and Nathan Hohaya goes in for a Southland try.
Oh, it's been haunting, it's been coming. Just got that ball. Beautiful kick, Robinson. Well done. Absolutely fantastic. Exactly what they wanted. Vega just picking it up, unloading that ball. Oh, that's a killer blow before half-time, but Nathan, very famous cousin in Lance Hohaya, league international. See here, just putting the ball to boot. Exactly the right option, and just flipping that ball on. Look at that. That's a killer blow. Well done, Southland.
Well, you looked at this midfield for Otago with Jaden Spence coming into the centre position. No Tamati Ellison, so a lot of experience lost in the midfield. And Vaenga and Hohaia have worked hard on their combination. Finally, the Southland side gets some points on the board, much to the relief, if not joy, of this home crowd, and the conversion too. So we blow half-time here in the Derby, and Otago have a 2-point lead. It's 9-7, and just one try so far in the match, which has been very entertaining. Brendan Laney's down on the field with Buxton Popawali.
Well, Buxton, bit of a tough sort of 5 minutes at the end there, mate. What do you think's got to happen for you guys to come out and win this game?
Just adapt into the conditions and, yeah, holding on to the ball.
I don't think we've called your name, mate. Looking forward to getting it called out in the second half.
I'll try and get there and get some ball, eh?
Good boy.
Perfect. Thanks, Brendan. Thanks to Buxton as well. Yes, a little unemployed in the first half. His play didn't run his way, but Otago did most of the defending. They are in the lead. It is 9 points to 7 at Rugby Park. Back after the break right here on Sky Sport. Goof Henderson, the Southland coach, alongside Brendan Laney as the teams roll out for the second 40. Hayden Parker with 9 points in the first half. Adding to his total, 49 points for the season for Parker. Robbie Robinson, and there is Fumiaki Tanaka. Great to see players like him here in ITM Cup action. As we get underway in the second half of the derby, Paul Grant will swallow this up. And straight away they're on to the boot. The message from the Southland coach, Calvin Middleton, play some territory as McKee drops it. It hits the touchline, a big error from the new number 8.
Oh, you'll be worried about those lambs, Sumo. Worried about those lambs.
Oh, even though the rain stopped, guys, this ground is very, very slippery. It's going to make it tough for these guys who are going to move the ball around, as we can see here. Pretty tough for McKee.
It was a perfectly weighted kick, just right in the trouble zone in between the line and touch.
Coltman to throw in. Easy ball for Franklin, but not straight, I think might be the call. Coltman turns around and glares at the assistant referee. And McIntosh has a giggle.
McIntosh says, yep, we'll find you some white bait after that. It was a wee bit down the line, as we can see here. Yeah.
A wee bit?
It nearly went to Tanaka, didn't it? You can shake your head as much as you want, but no.
Yeah, the masters of understatement, you southern folk. Gusting 120 kilometres out there, and David Henderson says the wind's not too bad. Robbie Robinson heeding his coach's advice and getting the ball down into Otago's 22. They return fire, the Razorbacks. Picked up by McKenzie. This one will be difficult for Suckling, but he handles it well, and then he gets the grass cutter from Robbie Robinson. Tanaka buries himself in there trying to get the ball out, and now he's got to pop out from underneath one of his own players. And suddenly he's there again. This time from the box, it'll drop on the halfway line. Chance now for Jimmy Coward. Freed the ball up for Porky. And advantage for Otago. Will have the scrum on the halfway line. So a scrappy start.
Scrum blue.
As you said, Puffer, that moisture is just starting to affect the play out there. A couple of balls getting turned over and spilt. Good start by both teams. Certainly firing into it. See the ball there from Jimmy. He tried to get the pass away. Just spilt there for Hyatt.
Well, I'm really enjoying the way Tanaka's going. He's such a wee pocket rocket, isn't he? He's straight in there. He's not afraid to get in and mix it up with the big boys and secure ball.
one thing Brownie got him in there for. He likes the fact that he just gets in there and all he does is deliver that pass. He's lightning. He's lightning around the park. He wants to set these backs alight.
And it's a good ball too to Parker. He drops it in for Spence. Haven't seen a lot from Spence offensively. TJ Ioane straight over the top of Robinson. Tanaka clears away again. Scott Manson playing first receiver, and here is Buxton Popoali. We spoke about him not being heavily involved in the opening 40. And for Barker, straight into McKee, and McKee gets a points victory. Tom Franklin. Nathan Horhire has him up, but he gets to ground on the 50. And they give away the penalty, Otago. Better defensive organisation from Southland during that phase play.
Yeah, much better there from Southland. I think Otago are just trying to find gaps. And big TJ Ioane, and there is some big shoulders coming in there from the Southland team. They've obviously had the word at half-time, pick up their act a wee bit in that state of play, affecting the penalty there.
We saw Tanaka go in, leaving his feet. Here he is here, trying to seal the ball off. There he is, down, off his feet. Got to let the ball go. Southland all over him, and they've got an opportunity here to set up an attack.
Tuapati with the throw. Tolomaitonga Tuapati starting in the 2 jersey tonight. Braden Mitchell injured. Plenty of injury concerns in Southland rugby this year. The list includes at the moment Alex Ryan, Tim Boys, Matt Saunders, Scott Eade, John Hardy and Braden Mitchell as they pick and drive inside the Otago 22. Beckwith trying to recapture that form of a couple of seasons ago, Josh Beckwith. Ball picked up. Plenty of shouting going on out there. Michael Farialofa. It's not quick ball by any stretch of the imagination. The use it call has come. 5 seconds, remember, from the time that order is given by the referee. McIntosh sets. Here's McKee. And McKee gets denied by Franklin. Tuapati again. Pops it back to Cowan. The Otago are swarming over the Stags' attack. Again, use it as the call. Robbie Robinson plays halfback. Fatialofa slips into the tackle. 20 out from the Otago line. Southland enjoying possession early in the second half, and the clean out coming through was Vabarkle. Then kicked through, and they earn the penalty, Otago.
Great passage of play, Southland. Their backs are just running all around from side to side. The Otago backs are trying to follow them, but fortunately the big boys up front are just picking and going and are making some yards, but unfortunately turning that ball over there. And Otago relieving themselves with this penalty. The stats just keep on continuing. Southland been in the Otago's 22 for 7 minutes. Otago have been in Southland 22 for 1. So Southland got a lot of running.
Well, it really has been Southland's strength over the last couple of seasons, especially when they did hold that shield. They did it so well. The one-off runner, pick and goes. Jamie McIntosh leading from the front in that aspect. So you can understand why they have gone to it in these conditions.
Oh, I love these games. It's tight, it's torrid. Tom Franklin, way to Tanaka. A lot of T's in that last sentence. This one drops down to the 22, and the mistake from Cornforth.
It's been a couple of turnovers Southland doing now. A couple both down in their half. Unfortunately, Cornforth, they're just absolutely going right through the bread basket, getting on the grass.
Hey, look, and that a great kick by Tanaka. Once again, he's got a lovely wee box kick, but Marshall Suckling, first start, here we see, great chase, just put a bit of acid on. Cornfoot looked up, saw Marshall right in front of him, dropped the nut.
I've had the pleasure of calling the National Sevens in Queenstown for the last couple of seasons, and Suckling's played Sevens for the Otago side, and it just sums him up. He just keeps going and going and going. And that scrum is a shambles. Away goes Robinson on Parker. Jimmy Cowan's kick drops down. Popoali now. Dangerous and broken play. He puts the kick over the top. No one wanted it. Barrett finally drags it in. Now the chase will come from Southland on the Cowan kick. Drifts over the line on the full, so we'll come back.
Doing a bit of damage, Southland in those scrums. I suppose when you got big whopper McIntosh in there at 130 kegs, it's going to be a hard man to move, but certainly starting to dominate up front. Otago have to be very wary of that. Kick here is Southland with 3, which is a big stat.
Clean ball for the Otago backline to work with now. Tanaka, away to Paul Grant. Parker! Straight through a yawning gap in the Southland defensive line. Up now towards the 22 they go. Tanaka fires it out to Verbakel. Defence on him in the shape of Tuapati. Tanaka popped the ball up, but just too late for Dixon to grab. Manson now. Good ball from Manson. Ensor inside to Spence. 5 short of the Southland line. Otago looking for their first try of the game. Offside is the call from Bryce Lawrence, so they'll have advantage. Oh, Verbakel Robinson. He's got his own back, Robbie Robinson. Took about 20 minutes, but he lined him up and sent him reeling. Coltman, offside plays Southland. Penalty advantage still applies. The Razorbacks searching for the try.
Robbie Robinson, that was a massive hit for a wee man on a big man. Oh, look at him. He'll be getting that on the old HD and replaying that in his mind, I think.
Well, Tanaka's just been outstanding. His decision-making, when to go, when to pass. Those wee sniping runs.
Here we go.
Here's the hit here. Got rid of the first guy and boomfa.
Boom.
Take that.
We've got plenty of them. And there's the offside play. Now Tanaka, you're quite right. Exciting man to watch.
Oh,
he suits Tony Brown's game plan to a T, doesn't he?
Did right, Sumo. And I was going to say, sorry to interrupt you, but he's just making really good decisions. Like I said, picking the right time to go and when to pass.
I think in that phase of play, what Otago did extremely well is there seemed to be the backs of Parker. You know, they're measuring up against some of these Southland forwards, and they're starting to create gaps. They're getting past them, so if they can continue that ball and hold on to it, they're using a lot of switchbacks, they're hitting in midfield, and as you say, Tanaka, he's all over the place and he's switching back very fast, creating that imbalance.
So a 5-point lead again for Otago here. 12-7 the scoreline. Already 10 minutes of the first half, or the second half behind us. Robinson, Manson waits. Verbakel climbed high. Lost forward is the call from the referee, so we'll scrum down. Southland feed.
Lost forward by Blue.
Yeah, beautiful kick there. That's exactly what the forwards want from the kickoff. Nice and high. The forwards doing well, getting in there, Southland forwards, and just disrupting that ball. And in weather like this, she's a slippery bar of soap to hang on to.
Well, we've got a change here, guys. Tim Cornforth has come off in number 11, and Mark Wells in 21 has replaced him on the left wing.
Mark Wells has been around for a while now.
He's a good, honest footballer, Mark. He's given you everything. He's done it so many times for Southland, and I'll be looking for him now.
He's lining up behind the back line here. They screw around. Otago get the feed. Southland guilty today, Bone, of just being in good position and then suddenly coming up with an unforced error.
You've hit it on the head there, Sumo, that's for sure. And likewise, Otago, almost in the same opportunity when they were on attack. Again, they just got turned around. I think the old forwards are too busy worrying about what the ball's going to do in the back line and who's going to score out wide, and they're switching off. Otago, yep. Pat on the back, well done. You want a piece of that?
Well, got another change here, guys. 19, Gareth Evans has gone on. He's replaced TJ Ione.
Evans had a mixed bag last week in Bay of Plenty, it's fair to say. Was aggressive, but came up with a few handling errors at key times in that match. He's on the side of the scrum now. But he showed enough last week, I think, Bone, that he's worth a crack again for Tony Brown. Certainly will give him plenty throughout the season.
He's certainly a tough nut, and that is the one thing that Otago, they have got plenty of loose forwards, and we won't discuss the Southland loose forwards. They've been decimated. So to bring on a man like Evans, I think he'll be wanting to make an impact.
Big up and under, drops down on Mark Wells, and he gathers it up. Maloney McDonald there in the 6 with the headgear. Barrett with a good ball away to Robinson, keeps it low and skids it over the turf here on the park. Parker was well back in his 22 for this one, and he unleashes. And that one into the stands.
Running out of superlatives for Parker. Look, obviously we know his kicking prowess and he can tap them over, but his positional play and getting back there, he is reading the game extremely well. I mean, you expect it under a coach like Tony Brown, who himself played 71 games, etc. for Otago, many more for the Highlanders, but he is doing everything right, making every post a winner.
This is the great thing about this competition, though. You got Manawatu, where you've got a guy like Jason O'Halloran, who has all that knowledge as a player. Tony Brown here, Tana Umaga at Counties, Jeff Wilson, Liam Barry at North Harbour. These kids are exposed to great players.
That's right, South making a turnover in midfield there.
Parker again, onto the left boot. This one will drift across the goal line, and it could go dead. It will go dead. Cade Poggy points back upfield.
Options.
I presume that was Parker, and I put the big dirty hex on him, did I?
Fortunately so, Kelvin.
Here he comes, boys. I'm sure the guys in the bankman will be stoked with this. Cabbage, number 16, Jason Rutledge is going on. He's replacing number 2, Tuapati. He's had a reasonably strong game, Tuapati, and also I think there's going to be another change. Yes, there is. Ben Nelly's going on. Michael Fadialofa is coming off.
Fadialofa and Tuapati, two of Southland's strongest with ball on hand this evening. So the two replacements, Ben Nelly and Jason Rutledge, will know what's expected of them. And Jason Rutledge, what a milestone for him this year, becoming the outright most capped stag of all time.
This weather is perfect for him. He's a plumber. He's probably used to a bit of moisture. And look, they've got a full Woodlands front row there who won the banner premiership down here for Otago. So very handy. They'll know each other better than anyone, those three in the front there.
Well, this really is crucial for Southland. They've got to get themselves down on the other end of the track. An opportunity here, maybe down the blind, an 8-9.
And there it is, the 8-9 to Cowan from McKee. Cowan comes up with the spill, advantage applying. Otago will win possession and will have the scrum.
Comedy of errors.
A comedy of errors.
Well, this rain is really pelting down there. You probably can't see it in this shot here, but it really is coming down. And it's going to make this ball a bar of soap, guys.
It seems quite nice in here, Buffer, not a drop on us.
I hope you guys are right up there.
Tell you what, one thing, Jimmy, he's played a tremendous amount of rugby. You don't often see him make the mistakes, the errors. Yeah, deeply annoyed with himself there, the Matara boy. Good Matara boy. This game really has got to feel that it could go any way. It either is going to open up one way or the other, but both teams have really got a strong sniff of it.
Ball away, and Paul Grant has it slapped out the back in contact. Lost forward against Southland is the call from the referee as Dixon takes it back to the halfway line.
Advantage over.
Left side play. Gareth Evans, ball in hand, drops it out the back for Tanaka. Parker again, just getting a bit squeezed in the back line as the low numbers arrived. Little kick over the top. It's been successful for both sides, but not on this occasion. Jimmy Cowan turns and bangs the ball down Buxton Popoali's side of the field. He will look for touch. And we'll settle things down with a line out midway between the 22 and the 10-metre line inside Otago's half.
Nice ball placement there from Jimmy Cowan. This is a guy who's, unlike probably a lot of Southland players we look in the past, you've got your Goldie, you know, Marshy as well, Corey Flynn. A lot of them have left Southland and they've gone to, you know, other prospects, but he stayed true to himself, Jimmy. It was a lovely kick there to put a bit of pressure on Otago.
It's something you don't see every day. Mud on a player's face in a game of professional rugby in New Zealand. That says everything you need to know about the conditions here at Rugby Park. Robinson. Away to Cade Porky, who's been well looked after. There's Tanaka who cut him down.
Use it!
Cowan pops it up to Nelly. And here is Rutledge, looking for the offload. Can't get the ball away. He's isolated, and Bryce Lawrence had no choice. You could see the player trying to grab the ball. Gareth Evans, the man.
Good loose forward play there. Just Kevich Rutledge there getting a wee bit isolated. The Southland players are just starting to be a wee bit slow in support there. See him taking it up. Good man tackling around the low. And yes, hands all over that. I'm saying that there was a lot of Southland players there, but Evans just too good over that ball.
Jason Rutledge, father Lester Rutledge, who's finished his tenure as manager of the Highlanders.
It's interesting what you said before about, we talked about the Tony Brown and the tutelage that he's got with these players, and Highlanders now, you can't argue about John Preston coming in or Stormy McLeod, two very good boys in general, but obviously extremely good and talented players in their day.
A big loss for the Sky commentary team. John Preston. Buxton Popoali. And I'm not entirely sure that was intentional. And Mark Wells comes up with the ball. He's a tall man, Mark Wells, and it's held on to. A real chance now for the Stags through Kana Vaenga. And the offload came off the knee. Vaenga was surely in an offside position when he regathered that ball, but it won't matter anyway because the scrum will go Otago's way. But just a sign of how quickly they can turn it on, the Stags.
Oh, they can. I don't think Buxton Popoali will be trying the crossfield kick 25 out from his line again. Beautiful there by Wells. Unloaded a good ball, and Artie just hang on to it.
Well, interesting change. Hayden Parker in 10 has come off. Peter Breen has gone into the 10 position and number 21. And we know what Buxton Popoali's like with the ball in hand, so you did right, guys. I think he should be running with it.
Close enough.
That's a big move, bringing off Parker. Quarter of the match remaining.
Touch! Set!
He did get hit earlier and he did stay down, but I got big reps on this guy, Breen. He's played a lot, the majority of footy at fullback. So he's been playing first five for the last couple of years. Very solid, and I think will be handy man to bring on at this time of the game.
Scrums have been scrappy this evening. That's the 10th reset.
Well, he's got quite a big boot, Breen. He's not afraid to give it a good old thump. So I don't think they're going to lose too much in that department, but this is really going to come down to a bit of ball control from both sides. The team that hangs on to the ball the longest are just going to get a bit more momentum.
Go!
Otago kicking the ball twice as much as Southland in this game. And they concede a penalty here. Walking around is the call from Bryce Lawrence. So Otago will be able to enjoy some relief through the boot of Peter Breen.
Yeah, it's one of those things in the game, you try to spin your scrum around. If you get it past the 90, you'll get the ball back. But if you get caught, this is what's going to happen. You get hung and you're back on halfway. Here we go, just see McIntosh. What he'll do is just creep around to the left there. Fortunately, just taking it a bit far and getting caught.
Getting wedgied as well. That's the sort of penalty you know you're guilty, don't you, as a front rower?
No matter what, you're going to look up and look disappointed, and the ref got it wrong, though, aren't you?
Coleman with the throw, getting up to block the pass was vacuous. Came straight back to Coleman, but only off an Otago hand, so we'll have another scrum.
And a change coming up here, guys. Number 19, Dion Bates is going off. Hawani McDonald is coming off. So, Dion Bates, good football. He's played quite a few games for Southland. They'll be looking for a bit of impact off the bench here.
He's a handy man to bring on. He's played over 50 games. Admittedly, he didn't play any last year.
Keep your head down.
But Hawani has had a strong game. Good to see him back in the blind side, away from the boot.
Dion Bates, his first appearance for Southland since 2010. And we'll have another scrum reset, so plenty of time wasted in this phase of the game tonight.
Still plenty of footy to be played. There's still just under 20 minutes left. I think no one needs to panic. Southland, they're doing well when they got the ball in hand. They're just unfortunately making the small errors in the Otago 22. They just don't need to panic. Still plenty of footy to be played.
We'll pack down again just while we wait for the scrum. Just a message of support for a good friend of the Southland Boys High Old Boys up there on the bank. His name is Bryce Deneen, and he's running a charity called the Wish for Fish charity. Bryce unfortunately broke his neck in an accident, so he is in a chair, and the Wish for Fish charity supports people with disabilities to go out and catch a few in New Zealand's lovely waters. wishforfish.co.nz if you want to jump in and have a look at Bryce's story and the charity's work as we carry on here at Rugby Park. And that one's just bumped up. Calvin Middleton could see that bounce of the ball coming from up here in the commentary box, and the knock on and then the penalty.
That was always going to happen. That was a great ball put in behind there. Worked effectively at the end of the first half with Southland. And just hitting his chest.
Well, still plenty of time here, guys. I think the shot, you see Robbie Robinson pointing, it's got to be the option. We've still got 15 odd minutes in this game to go.
Have a look at the replay, just doing exactly what they did at the end of that first half. Vega just turning it in behind, and oh, that ball is getting slippery and quick. Ends up, boom, chest.
McKenzie, who's kicking at 33% this year, with his most important kick of the season so far. That's to bring it back within 2 points. Gets plenty of it, McKenzie. And the flags are up. We've got a 2-point ball game here at Rugby Park Stadium. Otago still lead, but only just.
This game, you're looking at Southland, they've had 19 pick and goes. 19 pick and goes compared to Otago 1. So in the weather like this, I think they're probably going to keep that status quo and continue it because it's working for them. Nice kick.
McKee. Certainly hasn't looked out of place in the Southland side tonight, and that was his aim, according to the report in the Southland Times today. He wanted to go out there and prove that boys from the country and the region can and make the team and can perform for the team. I'm sure his family's chuffed to see him out there as well. And as we break down here at the breakdown, and the scrum will be Southland's.
Been watching a few of these kicks before they start being a bit aimless, I think, from Otago. They're not quite striking them well, or they need to just get back down into Southland's 22. They've hardly spent any time, and they're only 3 minutes, in fact, all up for the whole game.
Well, exactly right. And at the end of the day, that's got to come down to a bit of experience. They've got to get the ball, boot it long, and make Southland run 90 metres to score.
See there, 19 kicks, so they're doing a lot of kicking, but unfortunately the last handful just not being very effective, as you say, Buffer.
Scrum goes down, so here's reset number 13 today.
Oh, Jimmy. Jimmy's had plenty to say to Bryce Lawrence, and there's been a lot of shaking of heads love to be a fly on the wall in the middle there and just see what's actually being said.
Yeah, that's big.
Rob Verbakel's gone down.
Well,
Nick's out on the field.
there's a change coming up here. Adam Hill, and 18 is going on. He's replacing number 7, I think, at the moment. We'll just have a look at Lee Allen. He's had a pretty strong game.
I think Otago will just be regretting. Maybe they should have held off from that for a wee second, just seeing how Verbakel is. We know that Grant can slot into lock. He's got a bit of a sore shoulder there. I think if they'd just held off that 30-40 seconds, they could have possibly looked at switching him. Oh no, he looks all right. Good thumbs up. Adam Hill, yeah, he's another tear-away flanker. So you can make no bones about it. He'll be amping to get the hands on the ball and get involved in that defence.
Both teams have come up with plenty of missed tackles in this game as well. The Stags, according to our friends at Ruck and Good Stats, missing a tackle every 35 seconds. Incontestable defence as Jimmy Cowan pops it down. Has it gone too far? Yes, it has. So we'll come right back.
You got an injury?
Something for the Stags and the Razorbacks to think about as the season progresses.
Yeah, Jimmy knows this ground probably better than anyone. Well, I suppose Mr. Rutledge would really argue the point there, but unfortunately Jimmy just cooking that kick a wee bit too long. 51 tests he's played for the All Blacks, nearing on 100 games for Southland. You know, 100 games for Highlanders. An impressive stat, very impressive. Some impressive big armful of tattoos that he's got too.
Yeah, there's been a bit of work going on there. A bit of money involved too, I'd hazard a guess.
Not down here in Southland, Buffy, you can get them next to nothing.
Ball run away to Tanaka, Green. And again, they go the air route. Climbing high and taking it down was Marty McKenzie. Assured work from the fullback, Robinson. He returns favour. This one bounces awkwardly. It floated about in the breeze. Someone had to dive on it, and instead it was Glenn Dixon who managed to get a foot there first. Robinson again, and then he's held back, so he can't chase his own kick. Everyone's a mile offside. Play continues, and Bryce Lawrence sees a knock on.
Yeah, I think Otago should count themselves lucky. I would have thought they would have been offside there. A fair bit of force back starting to be played. A lot of up and unders. No one really going for distance. But see here, just putting that up. Tanaka having a crack at it, just dropping it. Just borderline. Bryce Lawrence, man on the dot, perfect positioning. Played refereed a lot of footy himself. Doing a good job tonight. After what was a mucky start, he laid down the law.
Ball's in quickly this time from Jimmy Cowan. McKee away, the 8-9 works, and Marty McKenzie up.
Passes forward from 9.
And a forward pass.
9.
Well, I think Otago, up by 2, they just again need to play territory, get it down there, 10 minutes to go. As we discussed before, Southland, they're the ones that have got to score. So they're the ones that have got to force it, push it hard to get back into Otago's 22 or in the point range.
As we see Nick Barrett coming off number 3, he's been replaced by Tukatarangi Raimona. I've done well getting that one out, boys.
Done
Nick Popoli, he's coming off as well. And Michael Collins has gone into 13, and I think we're going to see Tony Ensor pop to the left wing.
2-point deficit. Southland bring on Tukitarangi Raimona, the drop goal expert in the front row. Bryce Lawrence is loving scrum time tonight. Loving it.
Yeah, since his conditions have deteriorated on him, it really has been a tough battle for him. It's a really tough thing for the referee. Doesn't matter who's doing it in the middle. When this ball does get wet, a lot of ball turnovers, a lot of guys diving off their feet as well. So it is a tough one to do.
Great night for wingers too.
Absolutely.
Marshall Suckling is standing out here on the near touch. Pretty much a degree away from hypothermia. And a penalty. So scrum time bingo goes the way of the Razorbacks.
Well, Sumo, I've just seen they may be looking to have a long distance kick here. Dixon's coming out, he's had a look, and I think he's going to have a crack at it. We know he can bang these long. We've seen him do this before for Otago.
Absolutely. Well, look, if in nothing else, the clock keeps ticking. And all of these scrum resets tonight have played into Otago's hands. Whoever's been in front on the leaderboard, and that's been Otago all game, you don't mind if the referee's going to waste time resetting scrums and if teams are going to have a shambles in that department, because you've got the lead. It's up to the other team to score the points.
That's right. I think you hit on a valid point there, Sumo. We never see a referee that is a past front rower, do you? It'll make for an interesting game.
You know a single front rower who finishes his rugby career and wants to run ever again?
If it was, he'd be running the fat man's track, that's for sure.
Running to the pie shop.
Well, there's still a little bit of a breeze here for Dixon, so this could be an interesting kick.
Sure. Wayne Erickson, was it the Australian referee? Was the front rower as the kick goes, and he won't have enough. So the Stags now, with 7 remaining in the game, have to find a way to get 3 points. First of all, they have to find a way to get into Otago's half.
Southland, they'll be wanting to hang on the ball. They've turned the ball over 11 times. Otago only 6. So they'll be wanting to bang it long, get down there, wait for Otago. And there's conditions that are getting worse and worse by the minute, just to turn that ball over. Grant hitting it up again. He's yet again just so strong, isn't he? Just making yards every time.
Tanaka clears it away. Have you seen a single bad pass from Tanaka today? Possibly once, and he dived on that and cleaned it up anyway. Picked up, taken on by Gareth Evans. Otago in control at the moment, and then they give away the penalty. And Rutledge goes after Tanaka, but only to pick him up.
Yeah, they're all friends.
Well, that's a tough one, isn't it? You know, we saw Evans here, he just got the ball, ran, got ankle tapped, probably slid just a wee bit too far, got away from his support, and what it's done is it's given Southland a chance.
That's a great kick there, and I want that ball out of my road.
No need to sit on him. The tackle was fine. You don't have to sit on the kid.
Well, he's a tough character, isn't he? He's not afraid of mixing it up too, Tanaka. Muck around with Rutledge.
Well, he's probably had a field day too, because he can't understand what Jimmy Cowan's saying, so it wouldn't have annoyed him all game.
Not many of us can sometimes.
Tanaka from the box. Under heaps of pressure too. Here's Marty McKenzie, drops it off to Mark Wells. Wells back to Cade Porky. They love adding some complexity in tight spaces, Southland, don't they? Here's Cowan. Away to Robinson. And things just slow down in midfield, and then out the back it pops from Raimona. Marty McKenzie kicks downfield. Ensor's there. Takes this one on the full, and plenty of time to make his kick for touch. Cabbage Rutledge gets back. He wants the quick throw, does he? Yes, he does. On we go. Robbie Robinson easily around the first. Not so much the second. Robinson flattened on his own 22. And then Battle Royale for the ball. Southland. It spills out the back. Hand involved. Big chance, Otago. Junior Ngaluafi. Should I say Michael Collins? Look at the right team list. And the penalty this time for Otago. This one very kickable. And you would think that Otago will tee this up.
That was big defence. That was incredible defence. Adam Hill getting in there and absolutely making a meal of that. Just boom. There we go. That is the way to tackle, team.
straight back on his feet. And we'll see here, Rutledge pinged for kicking the ball.
He'll be disappointed with that. There's absolutely no need. I know the pressure's coming on, but that was just a complete and utter dead giveaway, that one.
Well, so Breen with a big chance here to go back to 5 points, leaving Southland with the rather arduous task of finding somehow a converted try. Kicks away, flags are up, 5 points in it. Otago 15, Southland 10. What have they got? Less than 3 to go in the derby.
Oh, they got plenty. They're going to give it all to you. Will know that Southland will not back down from this. They'll take it on as a challenge.
Well, we're going to split kick-off here, guys. Forwards, both sides of the pitch. Robbie Robinson, kicking left.
Beckius up after this. Fubarkle comes down with it. The Stags trying to pour over the top, but Tanaka gets the ball away. Well, I think the three of us in commentary tonight probably agree Tanaka best on show.
Absolutely, Sumo. He's played very, very well. Big punt by Breen. Lovely spiral. Beautifully taken by McKenzie.
So McKenzie now looking to spark from the back. Little chip over the top. And it's been picked up by Tanaka, who manages to be in 17 places at once. Coltman there. Otago now looking to shut this match down. Southland getting up quickly in defence. Paul Grant sets it. The use it call comes from the referee, Manson, who's going the 80 tonight. Tanaka again. That pass was high. Ball still there for the Razorbacks to use. Tanaka. A little bit of width on the play now for Michael Collins.
Use it!
Otago are doing a Southland on Southland. 1 minute left in the derby. Coltman, who's enjoyed a starting return tonight. Had to cover prop last week. Sure, he prefers playing in the hooking spot. Big defence coming in, but Southland just can't get anywhere near the ball. Otago trying to shut out the derby. The Donald Stewart Memorial Shield on the line, as always in this game. Tuirirangi there. Tanaka, where he's been all day, and it throws an intercept ball. Cowan can't hold on. Well, we would have had to revoke his man of the match if that had gone all the way to the try line. Still alive, but no advantage for Otago. 10 seconds left.
Well, that was a very near thing. I think Jimmy pushing that offside line right to the millimetre.
Bryce Lawrence has blown full time. Otago, for the first time since 2008, have taken the spoils here. They've beaten Southland 15 points to 10 in a traditional Southern derby. Just one try in the match. That one to Southland. Marty McKenzie looking dejected. And the Stags, 3 consecutive losses to start the season. Otago bounced back from defeat last week against Bay of Plenty to go 2-1. Let's head straight to a break here. When we come back, all the analysis. Otago 15, Southland 10.